my microphone. There we go. It's been a hot second. Oh my goodness. I do still exist, I promise. Ugh. And I as much as I told myself, oh yeah, I have free time, I'm going to work on Buffalo Woman, I haven't. So now that I have no craft fairs until September, I have a list of goals. Number one being finish Buffalo Woman. A few of the others are organize my yarn, which I have a cake winder, so I've been caking up all my yarn, which saves so much space. Oh my god. If you play with yarn and you don't have a cake winder, I know it seems like an unnecessary step, but cakes save so much space. I knocked out a tote and a half, and now it all fits into one tote. Actually, overflowing totes, and now it all fits in very nicely into one tote. Yeah, the free time was a lie. Okay, one second. Let me do the thingy madoo. Here we go. There we go. Sorry. Okay. Sorry if I blew your eardrums out from having to turn me up. Yes, free time was a lie. What did I do during my free time? I did all kinds of things. I did lifeguarding for a week, and that was nice. I got a smidge of color. So now I'm a little less pasty. I was preparing for my market, and I did not do as well as I'd hoped. I feel it's because I had to put the walls up on my tent. Now, if there are vendors blocking me and you can't see anything, I don't mind putting walls up just for a little bit of privacy. But the wind was so bad that had I not put up, and even after I put up the walls, I still had to chase my stuff around. It got knocked over. I broke a wine glass that was a display unit for things because the wind was just so bad. And so I had to wall up a major walkway, and I think it hurt my sales a lot. I had fun, and I paid for the spot, which I guess is all I can really ask for. But I also am going to try to make my website what I want it to be. I've been fighting with templates and whatnot. I think I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and design my own website from scratch, which not a huge fan of, but if it gets me what I want, I'm totally going to do it. I don't even have a color picked out, guys. That's how out of it I've been. I did complete a few on my own colors. So, I mean, I've gotten quite a bit, and again, hello everybody. I did take my meds, so it's not that. Oh. Okay, let's see. I've gotten most of the alone colors all done, so I'm very proud of that. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's see what I got going on. Zoom out and zoom in at the same time. And go. Actually, I think I'm gonna do Oh well, yes, and I'm glad that you're here, Hutchie. I love when you're able to make it. So we're doing color 322. Ooh, and I'll adjust the cameras appropriately here in a second. Today's major project was I got Hogwarts up on the wall. Let's see if I can. So yeah. So now I have my flat surface behind me back so that I can have a flat surface to put stuff. Not much. I'm getting ready to getting ready to stitch. I've been off for a week and a half, 2 weeks, somewhere in that ballpark. And funny enough, coincidentally, Wednesday I am able to stream, so I think I'm going to stream for a little bit on Wednesday. I have, I'm so far slated to do all 4 of my days today, tomorrow, a little bit Wednesday and Thursday. Woo woo! Woo! If you make it an Amazon wish list, Polar Bear Dad, there are creatures that are always looking to help people pursue their happiness. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, 322 is the color we are starting off on today. It is a little. I'm not gonna start on the Stacy era. I'm gonna jump right into the chonk color. The chonk color. Okay. Oh. So, I've definitely decided that next year I am going to try to do some Ren fairs, which I think some of my stuff would hit that audience better. Um, it's a lot more. It's travel and camping. It's a weekend thing. Like it's you live at the site for the weekend kind of deal, and and yeah, husband creature. I can't hear you if you're talking to me because I don't know where the remote is to turn the TV. Oh, there we go. I personally I love the Ren fairs. I just don't often have the opportunity or the I guess I'm head shy. I guess would be the best thing to say would be is I'm head shy. Because for example, this weekend I thought I was gonna sell a lot more than I did. I only ended up making about $100. Um, and 75 of that was the table fee. So, and let's be fair, I have totally I've recouped most of my material fees here, there, and everywhere because of how I buy my materials. I upcycle and I make sure that I am being cost effective. But yeah, I'm head shy because some of those events are 150, $200, and it's I want to do it, but I'm scared. That kind of thing. Oh, ooh, okay. So earthquakes are bad today. There. Oh, and just so you are warned, an ad break is coming in a minute. Do do do. Oh my goodness. Another project that I'll be working on is simply organizing all of my inventory. Um, for behind the scenes and whatnot. I have my demo books that I want to have out, but because someone legitimately asked me um, for a commission, and had I had my demo books ready, we could have talked about it. But unfortunately, I didn't. So that's something that's a tool that I need to get up and running, as it were. My little bone magnets were very, very popular. Um, and I'm pleased that I sold a lot of the littler things, which I'm not. I had a lot of fun. It's I just I was very upset with the wind because I didn't have any time to make anything look nice. I got there and I started setting up about noon, and by 3:30 I still wasn't done setting up because the wind kept knocking everything over. So every time I got something set up, it would just blow right back over again, and no matter how I set it, it wouldn't stop falling over. So it was a very stressful situation. Three, two, okay. I supported Dragon. I think you would do fantastic. Uh, oh, and something that I'm sure is going to surprise everybody. Not one of those roses sold. Not one. I don't understand. They were right up front and center, and they were reasonably priced. And I got a lot of compliments on them, but no one was no one was out popping, getting ready to spend. And I mean, I understand it's not near um a rosy need kind of thing, but I mean, uh, it I I I I think I need to, like I was saying, I need to find like the psychic fairs. Um, you know, it was hit and miss with a lot of the, like the people right next to me did Lakewood, um Lake Driftwood and Sea Glass sun catchers. And I guess that's the best way to describe what they were. Is they were or driftwood ornaments with crystals and glass, and they sparkled, like they were really, really pretty. Nothing on them, but they did pretty good. Their tent was pretty empty by the time they started packing up. Um, and I'm still learning, so that's the thing is I'm still doing a lot of these as a learning experience. I have a lot of display problems that I need to work out, like aka I need to get up off my butt and finish making my display units. Um, I I have the framing for a wire wall frame, which would enable me to hang more art. It's just I need to get them all chicken wired and padded so that when I hang them, they won't try to kill people. Um, but yeah, that was the thing. Is I don't know as if unless I get a place by the riverside, like where it's sheltered by one of the bigger buildings, that I will do that particular market again, just because of how bad the wind was. Yeah, and that's the hard part right now is my display presentation, and I recognize that it's okay. Um, it's just, and that's one of the things from now until September 7th is what I need to be working on is getting that display going. Um, Honestly, when I had a 360, well, not 360, I almost always have one wall blocked off, like for privacy, for my mental security. um, that kind of thing. Oh, voice from the abyss. Oh, but it's it's all a learning experience. September 7th, like I said, is my next one. I thought about doing one on June 29th, but I needed a break. I've been busy, and I do actually have a couple custom orders that I have to get done. So I'm not complete. It's not like oh no one looked at me, no one had a conversation with me. No, I had plenty of conversations. It's just getting people to spend the money. Like my little keychains, they're very nice. They're not expensive. Like I go 3, 5, 10. Yeah, 3, 5, and 10 are the prices of my keychains. Um, the more of those little obnoxious beads I have to work with, like the fancy ones, like the dots, those are fine. Like the round dots, those are fine to work with. But when I have to start working with the teardrops or the ones that are harder to grab, um, the teardrops are such a bitch. Those are the $10 ones. The ones that have the fancy pretty beads, those are the $10 ones. And I mean, I try to keep things reasonably priced, and that's kind of what frustrates me. Is I don't know as if people think because my prices are so low, they are getting a cheap product. um, and and part of me wants to have a sign up that explains, hey, most of this is upcycled, rescued from thrift stores to enable keeping everything affordable, kind of thing. I like I need some more signage. I do recognize that, but I'm just not sure what. Because like most other things in my life, I am a non-traditional person. Okay, there's that. We're going down, yo. Okay. I have, I have seen the price of beads. A lot of my and that's a lot of what it is. Is while my items are priced for the current market, a lot of the stock that I have, um, I rescue it. I frequent thrift stores of all shapes and sizes, and I find all kinds of interesting things, and I try to save what I can, um, or what I'm reasonably thinking I'm going to use. I do not needlessly buy stuff I'm not intending to use. Do I have a lot of stuff right now? Absolutely do. I could go a good long time without spending a penny and still produce a lot of things. And I think that's what I'm going to try to do in this little hiatus is organize and produce and get everything streamlined. And it's a pipe dream. Wish me luck. Uh, but it's and on top of all the things that I've been talking about, I did do my my full time job, which is always fun and exciting. Um, I'm trying to think the last fun story I told you guys. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think. Did I share the lady who got mad at me because I didn't ask her about the Tylenol she didn't ask for? Oh yeah. It, and I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm undercharging. Like I rescued a crochet doily, I rescued a brass ring, and I crocheted the doily onto the brass ring. I haven't like and this market it was only that on the brass ring. I think I'm going to add to it. I'm going to add um I'm going to maybe floof some yarn and add some embellishment to the hoop itself, but I put a price tag of $40 on that. And I was very open with all the customers looking at the doilies. I'm like, I rescued these and I upcycled them and I repaired them. And while they're not all my original art, I did repair and worked on a lot of these. So, and that's a skill that's lost as well. Is like I do fostering. If you or anyone you know started something that they really wanted, and they're like, nah, I don't want this. If it's in my scope of arts and crafts, I gladly foster things, and I will get it back to you. That kind of thing. And for that, that's a variable price depending on what it is. Like that's a conversation. But I do that kind of stuff too, and I need signs for it. I hear the dogs outside the bathroom door. They're just going bananas. Oh, I love the dream catchers. So does everybody know the legend of the dream catcher? Where am I? Okay. Oh, and so I will be turning presents back on, but it will be something different. Um, because I have random things. So what presents, and it will probably be renamed. Um, I will make a small crafty thing, and I'll display it, and I'll have pictures of it. And if anyone asks what it is, I will absolutely, hey, this is what this month's presents is, and it'll be like that. Okay, you'll enter your raffle ticket, and this is what you will be getting. I will be setting up instead of it being random. It will already be done, and as soon as you win it, it will go in the mail to you, kind of thing. Just to save Anna a little. Ooh, ooh, nice. Ugh. I want to find well, I want to go out and I can and get a willow branch and make and shape it into a moon and make a dream catcher out of that. Um, I can tell that I just got done doing a market because all of my stuff is everywhere. After stream today is going to be a clean up my shit kind of thing. Oh, I get it. Okay, so down there. Oh, oh no! Oh no, dragon! No! Oh no! I'm so sorry. I hear the crazy dogs. Oh, so husband creature should be interested to know that Cesar has learned how to open doors. Um, because when I got up this morning, I made sure the bedroom door was shut because after eating, Cesar likes to barge his ass in and essentially head check husband creature to wake him up, just to say, "Hey, I ate food," and then goes off in his merry way, generally smacking husband creature in the face with his tail. But today he got curious with doorknobs and learned how to gently jiggle the bedroom door to open it. Yes, that and oh, and big surprise, doggo. He's slobbery, um, and very insistent. Like he so I went in to go get a better shirt because I grabbed the wrong one today when I was changing into my daytime clothes, and I kept him out of the bedroom, and the ears went back, and he's like, "You're murdering him in there," because of course, if I keep Cesar from husband creature, I am murdering husband creature. That there's no in between. Either husband creature is fine, or I'm murdering him. And he did the ears back. What are you doing to him in there? And I shut the door in his face. So he didn't try to get in while I was in there, but I think he was mathing it out while after I left and I shut the door. So either that or his sister told him what to do, which is probably the more likely of stories. But who knows with those two? Oh yeah. I just did around a three. It's hard. These two blues are very close together. This one and the one I'm working on, and the one that is the stop point, very close in person. I guess I could always look on the screen and see what we're doing. Just zoom in real close. I was looking at Work in Progress Wednesday because that was I've been working on this for 5 years, so um, Work in Progress Wednesday now extends out into Mondays on some of my memories. And 5 years ago, I was just done the top row with her face. I had just started the second row. Um, that was working on a lot of her coat in the buffalo. And I with the depth of the color, I'm realizing how dusty this piece is, and I'm super excited for when I even just get to dunk her in some water and get some of the dust out, because the depth and the blending is just amazing. And I know it shows up to some extent here on the stream, but having it all together, all nice and clean, is just going to be phenomenal. I need to zoom in on my pattern here. I'm going to hit a check mark to see where okay, there we go. Oh, I actually hit all the spots. But yeah, 322, it's not like a huge bulky block color. It just kind of edges around a lot of the blue as a transition to the lighter blues and grays. I think today, one of the things, either today or tomorrow, I need to get the little air conditioner in this room, because we're supposed to be in the 90s all week, which is going to be fun and exciting. The weather forecasters are like, catch all the cool air you can in the house today, because it's going to get hot. I'm not quite sure what that was, but it was very loud. So, this morning while I'm putting up the Hogwarts shelf, it's anchored in because the studs in my house are weird. They are not the 16 or 24 off center, or 16 or 24 on center that they're supposed to be. Rabid monkeys with feral ferrets in their pants built my house. So, I used wall anchors just to be safe. And my house shifts, so I while not fully intentionally, I did have a 1-inch variance on one side as opposed to the other, and it was after I put the anchors in, so I was like, not gonna bother, I will jerry rig. So I did, and I actually kind of like the results, remembering that my house shifts. But the anchors can hold 50 pounds. I know Hogwarts doesn't weigh 50 pounds, but better safe than sorry after 30 hours of work. You will have to specify, Hachimam. I'm lost. Oh, yes. Rabid monkeys with feral ferrets in their pants? Because I shit you not. This house, I've had wall beams, like an original, like I had to take the plaster off and the lath off, and I've had wall beams that looked like they were at one point doors, but they lathed and plastered over them so they weren't actually doors. They're the old wiring went in some interesting directions. My first floor has a cement barrier around it, which I've pulled out some of it because it was falling through the floor, and that's the last thing I really needed was cement falling into the basement on top of the few ventilation and water pipes I have going in that area. I do need to get at least a cold water pipe going out to the backyard, so that I can make a splash pad for the dogs and just videotape that. That's a that's a pretty old book. Kind of cool. Like when I fix the house, and while not it's not always the prettiest, I do try to shore up and brace and repair where it went wrong. I guess would be the best way to describe it, or where in the 70s, where this house had a major renovation which caused a lot of its drooping problems. In the 70s, they had it raised, and they put in a new part of the basement. Like it used to be, it was at one point in time just a fieldstone basement, but sometime in the 70s they lifted the building improperly, and it there's a major break in one of the secondary support beams in the basement, which is one of the ones I want to get to raise up, and that's why I haven't done a whole lot of finish work. Is I would much rather repair the primary work, some snapped drywall screws, some cracked mud, than get everything painted and finished and then lift the house. Yeah, so that's one of the many reasons why I haven't finished a lot in my house. But and in doing that, they created a big droop, and then they worked around the droop instead of fixing the droop. So I have to undo all of that work in order to build it up and get it done properly. So it makes like 3 times the amount of work. And admittedly, I do have some areas in my house where I went fuck it, and I worked around a problem. But I have been going back and fixing those problems properly, because they weren't anything that the house was going to implode if it was just a fuck it moment. Like my hot water to my second floor has PEX pipe that is not braced to the walls because I had to go around other pipes in order to get it to where it needed to be. PEX pipe is very flexible. There's nothing's going to explode, and if it does, I put in a shut-off valve. You do not realize the importance of shut-off valves until you don't have one, and you have to run down one flight of stairs and then jump 5 feet down into the basement to shut off the water to the house. You do not realize how important a shut-off valve is until you have done that several times. There we go. But sometimes when I getting in the house fixing mood, husband creature runs and hides. No, he really doesn't. He's like, "What can I do to help?" And I'm like, "Just support me. Hold my beer." But sometimes I think he probably wants to run and hide. It's like, "What are you doing now, Ra? No, Ra, please, no, don't do that." I'm sure that thought train has crossed his mind. It's crossed my mind sometimes too. Why did I make this decision? I gotta fix it now, but why did I make this decision? Oh, hit the check mark. Woohoo! Okay, we're almost at the bottom of this particular strand of color. my goodness. I know that feeling. I have to get the most recent releases to add to the playlist. And one more here. So I have a crochet pattern for summer lantern that require a 3 inch and a 10 inch brass ring. I have the 3 inch brass rings because I found a collection of the smaller brass rings at a thrift store, and one giant one. It was like a ton of little ones, like the 3 and 5 inch, and then just one really big 20 inch one. And I was like, okay. Uh, but it requires a 10 and a 3, and I have the 3, and it's like, we suggest using multicolored thread, and I'm like, I got multicolored thread, and I have some wonky colors, and I'm like, these would be nice lantern colors. So I think I'm gonna make a couple summer lanterns that you can set at the bottom, some LED lights, which I also happen to have. Like I bought a box of LED uh, lights with remote controls, thinking I could make something neat with them, and I never did. But now I'm like, oh, I could totally do this, and I'm gonna. Oh, well, Pachimam, I hope you have a fantastic sleep. Okay, where am I going next? I've reached the end of that particular section. There's lots of there's lots of like little areas with like one or two things. I'll tackle that later. I think I'm gonna go there and get that done. Where's my scissors? I keep misplacing my scissors, and yeah. I feel it. I feel it. I have a little bit of string that I don't want to necessarily waste. I'm gonna, hey, I'm gonna move my camera over to where I'm actually gonna be working for like 3 hot seconds. Nana, Hachimom. Mm-hmm. Well, that is always a win. Not needing the frog. Oh yeah. Now I need to. Now that I used up that little scrap that I. Okay, I'm gonna do. This is always weird. I'm just trying to, because again, these are the color. The color is just kind of like swishy all over the place. So, trying to find like a good starting point to either go up and right or a good starting point to go down and left. It's and there's no like, oh hey, let's just go left to right all the way down. There's like no blocks like that anymore. So it's all swishy colors. So I try to compartmentalize best I can. I love my purple void. It is nice and comfy, and I haven't had to use it to for warmth yet, but it definitely is comfy on my chair here. I just gotta find where I'm going. So, do. Working on one of the corners. I gotta figure out where my side is loose. Oh, there we are. There's where it's loose. Because it was wibbly wobbling a little bit too much for my liking. Pando is not impressed with our craft talk. Features like, I'm just gonna go to sleep now. So, so the reason I didn't start 10 minutes early, because as I lost track of time, I was, uh, I was so just into getting all of my stuff organized and cleaned, and I was so pleased that I had my table back. Like, I was so pleased that I had a wider flat surface available to me again, because Hogwarts is not a dainty project. It was 18 inches deep, and probably more than that actually, because it's still kind of sticking over the edge a little bit, but and 27 inches across. So it was taking up most of my flat surface. And I was like, yes! Now I have flat space. What project am I going to put on it? And it's going to be some of my crocheting stuff that my crocheting custom order that I need to get finished. That's what's going to go on the flat surface. But I was like, yeah! Because if you do arts and crafts, you know that flat surfaces are important. There's that. Where am I going next? Here. Four. Okay. And one of the more awesome bits is I have with underneath Hogwarts, I can put like the hooks. So all of my masks that are currently on the side of one of my bookcases that is off camera that you can't see, I'm actually going to set up some lines of hooks so that I can hang my masks on the underside of the shelf. And then make it so when I want to get behind that bookcase, I'm not knocking over all of my masks because I have a lot of them, and they 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 they, they among other things make it hard to get behind that bookcase. Start even all the way to the end. And I'm hoping with caking all of my yarn that I can at least knock it down, knock space down a little bit, because it's just so amazing how much space gets saved when you can stack things a little bit better without them turning into knots. almost done this one. I'm gonna have to make choices here soon because a lot of it goes. A lot of what I have left is across here, and it just starts in the middle, and then it works the way down. Or I can start on the other side and work my way up. Either way, it's a lot of weird stitching. This area right here. And often they look like there's so much more stitching than there actually is, and that plays with my brain. Is like, oh yeah, there's like 50,000 stitches right here. It's gonna fill in everything, and then it's like 5 stitches, and I'm like, really, brain. So that's what we deal with sometimes. One of the things I can do with my new flat surface is put the boxes for Call Dance and Divine Instinct in an area that I can easily get to them without having to fight with all of my other craft supplies. Because as I get done colors, I try to put them where they're going to be needed next. Right there. Woohoo! And so when I'm doing stuff like this, it's a weird cross stitcher thing. So we try not to stretch our thread, but we also try not to swap orders a lot. And so when I'm going from the top down to the bottom, and I have to stretch out, I try to, and I feel really weird, like, they try to say no more than 10 stitches, and I generally agree with that because the string in the back is, they're worried about the string in the back. They're not actually worried about the string in the front, it's the string in the back, because if you are not good with your tension or in the case of me, you get caught on the string in the back, it can yoink and it can ruin tension in a stitch that's already done, and it can stretch your fabric and blah 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 blah. But that's the reasoning behind. So when I have to go out, I always am trying to be cognizant of how much string I'm pulling out. And when I go from this side over, it's like I end on the top end corner, and I have to go over uh, to the other end to start. And there, I mean, in that situation, you the see, I found that I'm pretty good at keeping, like, having my hands and being able to feel the tension is more effective. Like, I crafted a tension ring out of a paper clip to see if I'd like it, and no. But I I giggle because I went and I searched out left-handed crochet groups, and a lot of them are like it's so weird. Like, because in my mind, I'm thinking there's like 50 billion left-handed crocheters out there, and there's not. Newsflash, no, because most of the left-handed people who are crocheting had to teach themselves, and hence why there are Facebook groups. And it's funny. I didn't realize how I dare use the word exotic left-handed crocheting is. Um, and maybe that's what I should use when I'm this is done by someone who is left-handed. Brought to you by the Southpaws. And it broke my poor little mind as to how, and I've told people, like, I would love to teach you how to crochet. Are you left-handed? And when they say no, I'm like, well, I can try to teach you, but again, I'm left-handed and it is different. So, and I have no problems teaching people, but uh and it's funny because there are some things I do that I need to do right-handed. There aren't many of them. Like, I bowl. I think I bowl. I don't bowl a lot, so I think I bowl right-handed. Um, which which is really weird for me. um, over. You can also, like, and I know there are a lot of accommodations. Um, that there are setups that you can be like, hey, I'm left-handed. Can you fix this? So, husband creature likes it when I meet a left-handed door and push the right side of it, or I encounter a right-handed door and then a left-handed door, and then I get confused. It's funny because I will haul face right into that door, not even thinking about it, or I'll get confused. Why didn't you open? Yeah, it happens. My favorite thing to do is is with other left-handed people. Go, hey, you're left-handed. yeah. I think that should have been like the first clue that my brain was wired differently, is I was left-handed. That's like the entry level. Hey, your brain is wired weird. Oh, oh, hello, Dast. Dast, I saw your message. I have not read your message. For whatever reason, my brain saw it. I scanned it, and my brain just kind of stuttered, and I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you what it was about. So I apologize for that. That I haven't responded because my brain. And I do say like I saw like good news bad news scenario. Asked, I am not at all worried. You are an amazing person, um, and I know whatever happens, we'll get through it together. Oh, okay. I totally get that. So, because I'm working on and no one's gonna, well, maybe a couple people will see pictures, but I'm working on your super secret surprise, and your favorite colors are shades of blues. Part of the reason I've been organizing all of my yarn is so I can find out what shades of blue I have to work on the surprises. Mhm. I also have I also have to alter it a little bit because the 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 thing that I'm working on has a lot of parts, but they're like, "Oh yeah, you only need two colors." I'm like, "No. Like there are several different parts and and I'm going to use different shades for these different parts." And they're like, "No, no, you don't have to." I'm like, "But I'm gonna." So, so that is currently the battle that I am fighting is I have to take everything out and be like, okay, instead of this color, it's going to be this color, and I'm super excited about it. But it's a pain in the tuchus. I smell pizza. Oh, husband creature is cooking pizza. Okay. I'm like, pizza. So, I am legitimately hoping to hit 51 or 95, 51, 95 by the end of this week. So, we are at 94.58. So, 95 should be able to be hit by this week. Oh, I feel it. I feel it. That's I have some of that I have to do after 3. It's not a whole lot, but I still got to do it. There, I have the form all pulled up so I can do the stuff and the things. And I'm also done another length of this color. I'm really, really trying to avoid the part where I have to do a lot of jumping. Let's hope there's at least one more area where I could just kind of skate on by. I don't think there is, but I can hope. There.
We stand here together, united as one. One tribe.
Mm,
Feeling from deep inside.
nope, nope. It's looking like I gotta do that last big
You get us now.
area.
United as one. This is our destiny. Release the energy. Stand together.
Oh my goodness.
Together as one.
There we go.
together as one.
Yeah, and uh, the the nitty gritty bits is really where I'm sticking right now. Is like I have design work that I want to do, and I get overwhelmed way easy. And then I'll do like 50 billion things all at once, and then yeah.
Release the energy.
Okay. Yes, I guess I'm gonna go up over here, which I'm not 100% sure where. Okay, I guess I'm right here. Maybe. I guess. Yeah, that's kind of where. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Right here. Okay. Yep, that's where I'm going. Right here, and we're gonna go on. Gap it two, and then this third one we start here. Woo! So now it's the fun blocks of 10, which are weird. Okay, that's four. Cool.
A new wave of power arises.
No, I have work Monday through Thursday this week,
New heroes
and I have Friday off.
and emergence.
So Dast, if you want to stream on Friday, Friday is our potential stream day.
A sense of
If you want, I'm here for you. Our normal 8 to 10. This is how we do. I schedule my events right on air with everybody, so I have witnesses.
has come. The rise of heroes.
Okay. Please tell me something didn't break. I hear from downstairs. I hear stuff from downstairs. Sounds like glass.
A new time has come.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So I'm hoping
We shall rise
with,
undefeated.
before the end of stream to get at least, let's see, at 147. I'm hoping to get 250 stitches.
Rise up and vanquish the enemy. The rise of heroes.
Doo-be-doo. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't have Friday off. Um, I signed up. I signed up for the med run at work because um, we're having some severe issues with organizing the med closet, and I have issues, and and I would rather not have issues at work, so I volunteered to do when the meds come. So I'm sitting here, I'm going, something's going on this Friday that I don't actually have it off, but it's good OT, so But I will still be able to stream from 8 to 10 because I will be done way before then. Okay. Mhm. Ah, what you guys did not see behind the scenes is the loop string got caught on my hand, and yeah, surprised me. Oh, oh, we're gonna jump over here, and then we're gonna. Ooh. I'm really wondering why there's a crow in my backyard. Like, I'm not upset by it, but it's weird to just have one crow in the backyard. I'm wondering if Rune got turned into a crow. So today is it is 3-year anniversary of where my bestest boy Rune passed. And the past few days, I've had a crow sitting in my backyard. Um, and right now, that same crow is sitting in my backyard singing the song of his people. So that's where that comment came from. In case any of you are going, yeah. Rune passed before I started streaming, so none of you got to know the gloriousness of Rune. Um, he was Britta's sister. Sister from a different Mister. Um, but yeah, they were 7 years apart, and all the tea. Actually, I love Bangor. It is an internet thing. If you look up Bangor, Maine's crows, we have a huge murder of crows. It's big enough that if they decide to park their butts in the trees that are near my house, um, that's why I have a car cover. That's why I have the pretentious Prius car cover, is because they used to poop so much on my car that I couldn't really see out the windshield. And same with Husband Creature. But Husband Creature just douses his windshield with washer stuff. I was like, no, how about a cover? Um, but yeah, the crow is just sitting out in the backyard. I'm not hearing any responses, so I think he's just sitting in the backyard singing the song of his people. Pixie hates crows, by the way. It's kind of funny. She will bark at crows that are in the air, not even near the house. Though the backyard one, she hasn't gotten too pissy about, which is kind of surprising, because Pixie is the dog version of a carrot. She wants to speak to your manager. I would like them to bring me shiny things. We try to feed the crows up front because if we throw food in the backyard, the dogs eat it, or the squirrels. And I'm pretty sure the squirrels eat it when we throw it out front, but there's less chance of the dogs eating it, which they just don't need. But yeah, when we have like stale cereal or bread or whatnot, we try to toss it out over the cliff so that the crows and whatnot can get it. I'd be more happy if we could convince them just not to poop on our cars. That would be great for me. I do ask them. When they're perched in the trees at night, I do ask them not to poop on my car. Um, Whether or not they respect that has yet to be acknowledged. It wasn't as bad this year, so maybe they're being nice, but oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah, that's not cool. See, the scary bit about that is I'm pretty sure in my neighborhood, people would be like, and just keep going on their day. Like, honestly, if I saw crime scene tape on any of the surrounding houses, I would be like, finally got caught, something bad happened, and go on with my day. I might be a terrible person because of it, but it's like the the house where I actually know the people who live there. Um, the the only concern I had was one of the people who lived there had kids, and that was a big concern because kids. But now that they're not there anymore, um, it's all adults, and mild concern maybe. And the house that's on the other side of me can die in a car fire. Um, I they can fuck all the way off, and I try to be as polite as I can. But in all honesty, they can fuck all the way off. Dragon, are you guys gonna have like a ridiculous heat wave like we're gonna have up here? Because I know down in your area, 90 degrees is like a fart in the wind, but I'm guessing it would be warmer down there than it is up here because we're hearing 90s up here. Um, and yeah, uh, folks, Maine has some wild weather. Don't get me wrong, Maine has absolutely wild weather, but we get kind of salty when it starts hitting 90 with the level of humidity that this place generally has. Like we are the northern Florida in the summer, and it kind of sucks. Ugh. So everybody's gonna be sticky and yucky. My workplace doesn't have air conditioning in the common areas, so I'm gonna have to bring my ice packs. Yes, yes. I would love to get shiny things for food, but honestly, I would just like to have crow friends. I would like to have crows that I could step out in the front of my house with no access to Pixie, um, and like just like pet a crow. Like I like birds, but I don't like inside birds. I like outside birds. I like birds that can mostly take care of themselves and then stop by for a pet or two, and I can give them some food. I like very casual relationships with birds. I'm the crazy bird auntie, where I you come in, I feed you, I give you lots of love, and then you go away. Mm, yeah. Well, when we have pop up thunderstorms, um, I'm not a huge fan, and little dog is not a huge fan. Well, they are also people specific. Crows and magpies, the corvids and ravens, but there aren't so many ravens up in Maine. They're not common up here. We got some honking crows though.
My mind is like a hive. The thoughts intrusive are just bees buzzing to stay alive, distracted and elusive. They collide within my mind, and I struggle to think with my thoughts.
I think crows would be the best Disney princess idea though, because if you notice, there are never really any crows. It's always like the bluebirds and the blue jays and the chickadees.
Complexity leads me to
Like
ponder, and the depths of
we need a gothic Disney princess that has the crows and the ravens.
though the bees can get overwhelming. The inspiration they mold in their buzzing, I find compelling. A reminder of the power I hold.
Let's be fair,
So
chickadees are assholes.
bees within my brain, even when they drive me
They're
insane.
cute, but they're assholes.
In their chaos, I find a refrain of the beauty and complexity of my inner terrain. You will never understand that this is my norm, and I have chosen to embrace the swarm, the swarm, the swarm, the swarm, the swarm, the swarm, the swarm.
That's why it's not a domesticated crow. It can take care of itself. It just comes to you for treats and stuff. What have I done? Now I gotta go. Oh, funny story from when we were packing up at the night market. Now, I'm night blind. I am very, very night blind. If it is low light, um, I can see big objects, but I don't see a whole lot of fine detail. Now, um, and it gets worse if you shine a light in my face and then the light goes away. So it really, really kind of sucked trying to pack up in the dark. But I really had to pee. I hadn't gone pee during the entire event. Like, from the time I got there to the time I left at like 10:30 at night, I had not gone to the bathroom. And I was gonna use a porta potty. I was needing a porta potty, and the person next to me, their partner, was like, no, don't go to the porta potties. There's no toilet paper. It is gross. It is disgusting. Save yourself. And I'm like, oh, thank you for your service. So I just activated my ignore the pee command for another few minutes, and I got home safe. I got home good. But, that was a rough one. but I was like, yeah, thank you for your service. Thank you for going through that so we didn't have to. I set up a lot of tents on Saturday. I hope we're getting really good at it now. Eventually we'll know the order properly, and actually execute it. Going down the line. I haven't seen the Jules appearance yet, and I know she's lurking somewhere. At least I hope she's lurking somewhere. I know I've been really out of touch the past week and a half, and I've been alive. I've been here. I promise. I haven't. Every time I thought I had a moment, I was wrong, or I was sleeping. I have fallen asleep so fast the past few days. It hasn't even been funny. It's like I have laid down. I've maybe sent like 2 or 3 funny TikToks or Facebook videos to people, and it's been out. Oh yeah. The call outs are fun. I would send them to Husband Creature, but Husband Creature doesn't have Facebook, so I send them to you so I can show them to him later. Because they're equally call-y outy. Okay, we are going out 6. Yeah, okay, going out 6. 3, 4, 6. Oh, and the reason I'm getting all of these, all the book things, is because you keep sending them to me. I do. I love to read. I've been reading here and there, mostly things on how to design and how to better my organizational skills, but I just paw through. I just paw through the books in Husband Creatures collection that I haven't read. Um, in all fairness, Husband Creature has probably read more books than I have. Um, I've probably read a lot more instruction manuals, but Husband Creature has read more books for fun. Though I don't know if this is a flex or not, but I at one point in time read all of I read all of Nora Roberts' collections because her books are not at all difficult to read. So I have her collection in PDF form somewhere, and when I was doing overnights, I would easily bust through two of those books in an evening. And that's why that TikTok from, not the TikTok, but the Facebook reel earlier today is the Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake one that I sent you. It's real. But But I do have a limit. To be fair, I have a limit. I got to Narcissus in Chains on Laurel K. Hamilton, and I'm like, we've run out because I started it because I really liked the plot, and then by Narcissus in Chains, I'm like, this is just this is pure smut. Like, there's no more plot. I like my porn to have a plot, and they ran out. But yeah. I was told that they eventually got back on track with Laurel K, but I'm like, I'd have to trudge through 5 books of just like this. And yeah, I was having none of it. Like, no, no, we don't need this. I went through I went through a span of time where all I read was like biographies or autobiographies or books about historical events. That was fun. That's still kind of a fun phase. Um, like I have a huge book about the history of the house that's um, it's a daycare slash preschool, um, and it has been in Bangor since before the standpipe, and and it's a really well written book, and it expresses a lot about the city's history and yeah. Yeah, I have a few. Actually have a few Tammy Hog Hog books, but I call romance novels brain candy because they're not difficult to read, and they generally same follow the same pattern. Brain trash. Mhm. I think she's actually from Maine. Um, 'Cause I've read a couple of her books. She's a good writer, and I feel bad when people are like, "Oh, hey, you should read this," and I'm like, I'm not in like I go in phases, and I haven't hit a reading phase in a good long while. I'm probably due for one. Probably the only reason I'm not in a reading phase currently is because of Buffalo Woman, because I really want to get her done. well, I've at least hit the 200, the 200 stitch amount. I'm actually at probably gonna be 250 by the time I hit the check mark. Just looking at the time, I'm like, wow. Like, it's been going in bursts. It'll go super slow and then super fast. So, check mark. 250 exactly is what I've done. So we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop there, and we'll cover what's going on. So we're at 94.63%. Oh, yeah, the dressage. Maybe that's why my best friend Kate is um very much a horse person. She has a very beautiful, well-bred dressage horsey. I have a few friends that have heard where her horse comes from and are jealous because they are in much higher level dressage. Uh, and I am at the level of, oh, look at the horsey. Yes, I can ride the horse, but I might break it. Okay, so goal for the end of the week is 95%. I'm hoping I can hit it. I will be back tomorrow. I will be on Wednesday and Thursday for my long stretch. And I will be on Friday evening with Dast. So, we are diving headfirst into Buffalo Woman. We are trying to get her off the frame and into a fair. Off the frame and into the fair. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to take any fairs unless one pops up and just screams at me until September. And even if I do, I'm taking my time. I have plenty of product because I expected to do a little bit better at the night market than I did. I have plenty of product, so even if I do pick up a fair, I don't have to prepare too much, which is nice, but at the same time makes me kind of sad. But we all got this. So, thank you everybody for the gift of your time. Thank you for understanding my week and a half hiatus. And I hope that everybody has a fantastic day. And with the heat wave coming, I hope everybody stays cool. I will be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. And we will keep this party going. Oh my goodness. But until then, have a fantastic day. Drink your water, take your meds, and if you have the spoons for it, be kind to others.